a sick person, you know, has an illness or whatever, and they're put in a room, and the lights are dimmed a bit, you know, for them, because it's too much stimulation for them, so they need to have that soothing, so that healing can take place and all that. So the darkness, there's a lot of good that comes with darkness, because the earth is soil, that's dark, and all that. So it's not the darkness per se, but what is evil then? Well, evil is when somebody does something that goes against the grain of what the inspiration of the Creator is. Now the Creator, Jehovah, the all-person, the ever-present, meaning always present, everywhere present, and the Great Spirit, the person of the universe, but not in the form and figure of a human as we are. We can't see the Creator's form and figure, because the Creator has given Himself all away, and because He keeps giving Himself all the way. So we get closer to Him, and we find, well, all right, here He is. Oh, there He is. And so we go over there, but He's already been there and given Himself away, and He's gone. So we can't really attain to know exactly what He looks like, except we know that He is not in a form as we are in a form, inasmuch as He's in all forms, everywhere. And so we might think of the universe as being His form, and everything in it as being His form, or part of His form. But He's still a person, just like you have thoughts, and you have feelings, and you have sensations, and all those things together create a person, create you, and you're the whole of the summation of all those, but you're greater than the summation. You're greater than your thoughts, you're greater than your sensations and your sentiments and your emotions. You're greater than all that. You are an individual. You are a person, meaning a human being, and you're an individual human being. So we have that, and we start off in this darkness, and we move up into this light. And this light, this inspiration from the Creator. Now, because the Creator has given Himself all the way, now the Creator is all good, all beauty, all harmony, all truth, all magnificence, all glory, all powerful. All these marvelously wonderful things, that's what the Creator is. But now the Creator also provides for a screen or an end point where that which comes out comes back this way. And this out here, this reflective thing there, this reactive thing, this reactive thing we call Satan or darkness, if the response comes from self. Now, if we're in a situation and we respond in light, then that's responding how the Creator responds. It can be a very challenging concept to try and perceive as far as in its entirety. It may seem very complex and difficult, but that's because of the limitations of corporeal words. Because the spirit inside, the soul inside, can perceive truth. It can perceive light, and it doesn't need all this wordy explanation. And the words are just to help the soul to perceive the truth. And so when something is put forward that is not truth, that's purposely a lie, or that is intended to hurt or to harm, basically what we would call or have known as sin, or doing evil, it's essentially, in simple terms, it's L-I-V-E, live, backwards. It's going against living. It's evil, L-I-V-E-E-V-I-L. And so that's about as simple as an explanation as a person can get. This inspiration that we get from the Creator to rise up, to move toward His light, it meets all these, the milieu, well, of what was created by evil. Because when evil is created, it doesn't go away per se. It gets imprinted, it gets impacted, it has an effect. And this effect can be felt and seen and so forth and all that, and it affects the mind and the spirit and the soul and all that. But mostly it affects that which is in the darkness, and it has less effect on the light. The light can move beyond the influence of all this disruption and disharmony and all that, which is in chaos. All of which is some of the regular attributes of self, of which another name for self is Satan. Not that Satan is, an individual who is opposite the Creator, and in strength and in power and all that. No, that's not the case, because Satan is, as we said, is merely the reflex, but it's the dark reflex. It's the reflex of self, and so as we move toward the light, the inspiration of the Creator, wants to lift and helps everybody to find a way up, to rise up. And Satan's not sure, he wants to, and there's doubt and black doubt, they called it in the past, it's Seguan. Ooh, that was one of the ancient words for this. And so a person has to encounter that and has to learn how to rise beyond that, beyond the darkness and all that. But the Creator always wins. The Creator, Jehovah, is wiser than Satan, because you see, Satan is the reflex of that light, and so it's not the originator. And so the originator, who is the Creator, Jehovah, he's always one step ahead. He's always many steps ahead. He's already gone, and he is even more comprehensive all the time. And so he can always outmaneuver Satan. Satan can never, there's no way that Satan can win against Jehovah. Well, Satan can win temporarily against those who are, you and I, who are sparks of light from the Creator. Everyone, all humans have a spark of light within them that's given from the Creator, and that's a piece of the Creator in us. And so we're not the Creator, but we have access to the Creator, and we can become one, commune with the Creator. And we can never be the Creator, but we can, for short periods of time and for a certain amount of time, it's just like it's like a sponge. We can soak in water. If you're put a sponge in a basin of water, it soaks up the water, but it'll never soak up all the water in the basin. So, and that's like the Creator. You can never all in the entirety, but you can get His essence from the water. You can understand what water is. You can understand who He is and all that stuff in that way. So, as we want to rise up toward the light, how do we do this? And one way to rise up toward the light, well, is through the faithless discipline, through a vegan diet, and to put away war and enforce, trying to enforce things, but to live a life of peace. And that life of peace cannot come unless there's a vegan diet, because the vegan diet charges the blood with coolness, with light, whereas eating animal substance causes the blood to become hot and dark and thick. And if you look at the herbivorous animals, how peaceful they are, calm they are comparatively, the stillness that attends them or that they live in, compared to like the carnivores who are stalking and always in movement, and you can't trust a carnivore, so because they're going to get you, or at least that's their intent if they could, that's what the carnivores are. If you give them an opportunity to eat you, they'll probably, if they're not stuffed, they will. Well, but an herbivore won't do that. An herbivore will leave you alone in peace and all that stuff. So yes, of course, if you corner it, and prod it with a stick, it'll butt you with his antlers or kick you or something, because all the creatures have some type of defense where they're cornered and all that. But we're talking about in their natural, normal state of existence. And you can compare the two. And so for man, you see, the man, when he eats animal substance, he can't avoid contention. He can't get out of that darkness, that thickness, that animal that is stuck on earth here, stuck in this darker, thicker milieu. He can't rise up. He can't rise above and get to the higher realms of light until he puts that away. Yes, the angels can come, and they do, and they occasionally inspire man to say, look, this is how it could be if you follow the faithless discipline. If you become vegan, a vegan man of peace, and you stop war, and you worship the Creator, Jehovah. Why worship the Creator? Because in our souls have a need to worship. It's built in. Okay, we want to admire, but worship, it goes well beyond admiration. Worship is acknowledging that this person is the whole, is the all, is got everything. Okay, and we have that in our souls, and so we worship the Creator, the all light, the all person of the universe, the all perfect, the all beautiful, the all glorious, the all wise, the all powerful, the all loving, the all harmony, the all symmetry, the all music, all those things, the all justice. Yes, all that, everything, all the good, the highest that you can conceive of. And as we rise up, we can conceive higher and greater things, and the Creator is all those higher and greater things. Just like that sponge in there, we get to be bigger sponges, and we can absorb more of the water. But the basin is huge, just like an ocean. So we still can't soak it all up, no matter how big we become. So in our progress, as we move from darkness into light, how we do that is not only through the faithless discipline, through this purifying and cleaning and purifying, but also at some point we learn to help others to also step up, and this will help us to rise up into ascension, so that eventually we can go up and down the high, we can come down and help people, and we can rise up. And that's all that we have to say today for about that.